I've just not seen anybody. Hamza was almost like, you almost, Hamza was almost like Apple, if that makes sense for this industry.
Against Microsoft.
Yeah, where it's like all business, IBM, corporate,
Yeah.
whatever, and then Apple came along and it was cool.
Think different.
And it was just like, fuck, this can be fun.
Yeah.
Because I always said the self-improvement industry it's a bit nerdy. It's a little bit weird.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's sit here and not masturbate and not what like it's weird.
Yeah.
Whereas Hamza almost made it like sexy. He made it fun. Like, do you know what I would have? I would meet people on the street, and we would be chatting. We'd be chatting or whatever, or like normal day life, and they'd go, "What do you do? Like, what is it? Oh, what do you do for work?" And I'd explain it, and then I'd go, "Do you know Hamza?" And they'd go, "Yeah, I watch Hamza's content." And I was like, "Pretty much that."
Yeah.
And they'd go, "Okay." It was like 1 in 3 people went, "Yeah, I know Hamza." It was insane. I've never seen anything like that. It was like the first celebrity.
Yeah.
From our...
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned him because I was going to have him at number 3.
Yeah.
You mentioned Elliot Hole, so I was like, well, I've got Hamza in my head because he is a friend of mine.
I got 2. I got 3
yeah,
monsters after this.
I got
man.
2.
That's the
I
only
got 2
problem.
others as well, but I agree. I actually coached Hamza 1-to-1. I worked with him a few years back, and we went out in Edinburgh together because I went to take my missus to Edinburgh. He was living in Scotland at the time. And he came down and we had dinner. And I remember after dinner, we went for a walk in Edinburgh because it's just a beautiful city. And his partner at the time had never been there. And I don't think he had as well. But anyway, walked through and he got recognised. I was walking with my wife and I'm looking back and there was 2 teenage boys with their dad following us. And we were like, okay. And then we got to the top of the Royal Mile, which is where the Edinburgh Castle is. And the guy came up, or the dad came up. And went, oh, sorry, my son wants to talk to you. And the kid was literally like shaking.
Shaking, yeah.
And he was like, sorry, are you Hamza? And Hamza was like, yeah. And they took a photo together and everything. And like, he's the first, like you said, celebrity.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, you would go out with him. And I've been out with him in London as well. And he's still been recognised. And it's like, this guy gets recognised. Like,
do you know what puts it? Do you know what I'm going to put him at 3. And do you know what puts him at 3 for me? We know him personally.
Yeah.
We speak to him.
We know what he's like.
People judge, as people do, and they'll say things like, he's changed his mind so many times. And we want to get him on to have a chat and talk about this sort of stuff and like really, fight his point of view because I think people are disgusting on this stuff. He's a young man in his 20s making mistakes. Oh, wow, who doesn't? Who hasn't changed their mind? I made loads of mistakes. Who didn't go, I want to do this, now I want to do that, now I want to do that. The difference is, you've done it, I've done it. The only difference is he had 2-3 million people watching his every move and judging and scrutinizing. And it's like, that's not fair, man. We all make mistakes. We're all going to change. We're all trying to figure out where we want to go in life. Like, how many career changes have you had watching this now? Oh, I want to be this. No, I want to be that. I want to be that. The only difference is you didn't put a video out and it got 1.8 million views and you got destroyed for it. Like, people don't realize how tough that would have been. That was a real tough position to be in.
Put that in perspective, right? You think Wembley Stadium holds 90,000 people.
It's like filling that.
I can't even do the maths in my head, but it's like filling that probably...
Like, average views on his video is like 1 million.
20 times? Like in his...
Well, for 1 million, it's like 11.
Yeah.
So you got 11 times over.
Oh, yeah.
11 times over, you got that many people watching one of his videos at any given time. Within probably 5 days or a week, maximum.
Scrutinising him and like judging his every move.
Yeah.
And you end up, when you're at that level as well, you end up living your life like that, trying to manufacture things so people don't figure you out. Because as a human being, you don't want to constantly be battered and criticised all the time. You have your guard up. It's fucking brutal. Like, imagine being just punished all the time every time you put a video out. Someone's judging you. Hamza's fell off or Chris has fell off. And it's I know you've both been there.
Yeah.
It's just, with all due respect, Hamza just has a much bigger audience than you. So it's like, he gets that effect probably 5 to 10 times more than you do. And it's like, that weighs on your mind. Because at the end of the day, you are just a man. It weighs on your mind.
There's no training for it.
No, it's horrible.
My audience has gone like that slowly. He went like hockey
just
stick
blew up,
overnight.
yeah.
And do you know what's great as well? And this is why I think he's got to be on the list, like in the top 3, is because this is such a goated quality. He stayed humble. He really did. Like, when he would put out messages and be like, "What have I done wrong? What would you change about me?" That's brave. To put that out to 2 million people or so, that's brave.
Yeah, that is brave.
Like, he sent me a message recently, a voice note, and it was so nice. It was like the kindest, most loving your content at the moment. I won't go into detail, but it was that sort of thing. And he's, to get that message when he could easily be off doing whatever else, and he's there watching your videos, commenting on it, sending you a message. He's always been like that. Like, we've met with him multiple times in person, and I've never come away or never been on the phone with him and done FaceTime and whatever and gone, he wasn't really listening. Never had that. I've always been like, wow, like that's like a best friend for life. Like he's there, he's really listening. Whenever you tell him something, he feels it. And that's probably his best trait and his flaw, because his best trait is like his empathy. Like he's very human. But when you do that online and you care about people too much, they shit on you. And that's why it's coming back, because he's tried to help people so much, and he's got skin in the game. He's emotionally invested so heavily because he genuinely gives a shit, and that comes across as wishy-washy. His mind's everywhere. It's like, no, he genuinely wants to help people. Whereas you get somebody who's robotic, like a Belmar or a Iman Gadzi, where it's very much just, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money, fuck everyone, I'll trod on whoever it is to get there, and I'll just say a bunch of nonsense because I know it goes viral on the algorithm. People don't, people just run with them forever because it's like they're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, because they're not invested. They're never going to change because he's always stuck to what he's said from the start. And it's like, yeah, because he's a robot. He has a system. His eyes don't move when he smiles. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody, it's a little bit crazy. And that's, I think, Hamza's best trait, but also for this industry, probably the biggest flaw, where it's not a flaw. Like, I think it's amazing, but it's a flaw for this industry. Like, where you care so much. Do you know what I mean?
The narrative of this industry, it's a flaw.
Yeah.
Because you throw it out and then it comes back tenfold, but you just get punched in the face.
Like a lot of guys will see the comments and be like, oh, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Because they're very switched off to that. They don't have that human element. Something like Hamza will read through all the comments and be like, oh, I felt that one because I genuinely want to help you. I was the same. Like when I'd see stuff, I was like, no, I am buying you a house. I'm genuinely buying you a house. And it was like, I'm not scamming. Do you know what I mean? So he has that element, I think. What would you think for 3?
I would agree with you.
You would agree?
Yeah, I was in my mind. I was thinking Hamza's got to be there for me. Like, I've known him for a while. You know him. We've had dinner with him. Like I've been out in Edinburgh with him. Like when my missus was 6 months pregnant when we went to Edinburgh. This was 2022, and he was asking questions about that. Like, how are you feeling? Are you excited?
He's the type of guy to message you out of the blue and be like, you told him once, Mum's a bit ill at the moment, something like that. Right?
Yeah.
And he, like, 3 months later, be like, how's your mum? He's that type of guy, which people don't see online.
Yeah. So, as Chris said, hopefully we'll get him on at some point. I know
that'd be cool.
He's at the other side of the world at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll get him on and he can say his piece and we can say our piece. But, yeah, let's move to number 2, mate, because